All right, Mike, we're good to go.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Just Be a Man podcast. I'm here with the crew, Charles, Stefan, Chuck, Wayne, and myself. Tonight's topic is going to be the holidays, the good, the bad, and the ugly. For those of you who dread the holidays, going to visit your parents or other people's parents or your cousins, your aunties, or your grandmothers, you know what's going to happen at the table. It's either going to go real good or go real bad. And we're sitting here and we're going to discuss some of the things that we experienced uh, for the holidays, the good, the bad, and the ugly in regards to our family. Starting off at bat, we're going to start off with Charles. Charles, what say you about this good, the bad, and the ugly of this holiday season?
Are you talking about this one specifically or just in general?
I would say this in general because I mean, what's going on right now, we're very limited, and I'll let you go into why
Yeah,
we are limited.
yeah, we're extremely limited right now with the COVID situation, of course. But in terms of the holidays, man, it's still a big deal in my house because I have little kids, and they present their Christmas lists every year, and they're excited when Christmas morning comes to get whatever they ask for. So having kids specifically, man, makes it a very special season. And I know there's a lot going on in the world right now with the COVID situation, a lot of people hurting, things of that nature, financially and in many other ways. But I think this is really the time where families come together when they can, some virtually, some just have to deal with sort of the small gathering. So, but it's a bittersweet time because it's exciting for the kids, but at the same time, a lot of things that my family in particular is accustomed to doing, we aren't able to do. I'm used to getting together with my mom and my in-laws and things of that nature and just having a real
Yeah.
nice gathering. But obviously everything is on a smaller scale. So, you do what you can to take care of the folks immediately, that reside in your home. And outside of that, you just sort of wish them blessings from afar. That's all you can do.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it, Charles. All
Mhm.
right, Stefan, we're gonna move on to you. Holidays, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you
Well,
got for us, Steph?
well, I tell you, I got a couple things, but I want to go back to Charles. And you said the kids present a list. So are they presenting it double spaced, 1 inch margin,
Bruh,
laid out in
let
bold, what is most important, top
let
down?
Mike and I were having this conversation earlier today. We talked about how the kids present you a list, right? So
Right.
the older they get, the list actually gets shorter, but it gets more expensive.
Hmm.
That's the problem. The
Hmm.
prices go up. I mean, I have gamers in my house, so they want computer monitors, they want the latest gadgets and things of that nature, and that stuff costs a grip, bro.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, we feeling that thing in the Castile household for sure.
So, in other words, when Amazon shows up, you're like, damn, here we go again.
You never lie, brother.
Okay.
It's not for me.
Yep. Yeah, the good, the bad, the ugly. The holiday season is, a joyous time for me. And I can think of many good times in the holiday season, specifically around Christmas. Um, it's just an opportunity to of course remember the reason for the season, but also to get gifts and to give gifts. I had an aunt. She traditionally would wrap gifts so darn tight you couldn't get them out, and she sat there and giggled at you because it brought her so much joy because you couldn't open the gifts. And so those are memories that I try to reflect on during the holiday season, Mike.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Steph. Appreciate it. By the way, everybody out there in listening shot and the visual shot of us, want to send a shout out to our boy Stefan. Today's his birthday. So let's give him a
Yes,
round of applause.
Yes,
sir.
Steph, happy
sir.
birthday.
I
Happy
appreciate
Happy
it.
birthday.
I
birthday, my
appreciate it.
brother.
All
Thank
right,
you. I
all right.
appreciate it.
Right.
I
53
appreciate it.
trips around the moon. You don't look a day over
There you
60. You're all right.
And that's why you shave your head, right?
And you know it, bro. You know it.
Because I still got hair all over.
go. Y'all crazy. All right, Chuck Nice.
Yo,
What say you, brother, about this good and the bad and the ugly? I know you got the full house. So what say you
yeah.
about this good, the bad, and the ugly for the holidays?
Man, I'm a Christmas dude. I mean, this is my time of the year. COVID, of course, that's the big bummer. That's the downer of this season. But like Charles said, we're still trying to celebrate as best we can. Tight knit family. For me, it's the good part of it is the togetherness, the spirituality of it. Charles probably has it the best out of all of us because he's got the youngest of the kids.
Mhm.
It's the wonderment of a child on Christmas morning. I miss that. My kids are older now. The can't pretend you're asleep anymore. Run downstairs and wake everybody up. All that. I'm as old as I am. I'm still a big kid. So those are some of the good things about Christmas that I really like. The bad things is that we tend to forget that Jesus is in fact the reason for the season. The other part of that is as a society we get so caught up in the greed and Christmas shopping and all that. Um, but other than that, I mean, I just I have one memory that I wish it's one of those time machine memories. I wish I could go back and take it back. Man, I I wouldn't say I was spoiled at the time, but I was, I liked what I liked. And my mother, being raised by a single parent at the time, that's the other thing. It sucks is not having both parents in the house on Christmas morning.
True,
But
true.
yeah, but yeah. So I went through before Christmas, like 2 days or a day before Christmas, and ransacked the house, found all my gifts. And I made the mistake of saying to my mother, my single parent mother, who was working two jobs to make this thing happen. I said to her, man, nobody wants these cheesy gifts.
Oh,
Oh, oh my God.
you still
Right
alive?
now, man, look, it was board games and stuff like that. And back then, we wanted our GI Joes and action figures and stuff like that. I was being a bratty ass kid. Now, back then, obviously, I did not know the power of words and all that. And I think my mom, I'm pretty sure she did. She told my neighbor, and he was he stepped in when my father wasn't around, and he gave me this long lecture. And I didn't get it. It wasn't until years later that I got it. So I wish, in my bad memory about Christmas is that I said that to my mother, but um, you know, I just wish I could go back and apologize. I wish I could go. I wish I could take that moment back and apologize because I know how hard my mother worked to, put me and my sister through school and all kinds of stuff as a single parent and all that. And I didn't see it then. I didn't appreciate it. But years later, I see it. I feel bad about it, and I just wish that I could apologize to her. But I know my mother knew my heart, and she didn't necessarily hold that against me. But that's my one wish my bad wish for Christmas that I wish I could take back.
Yo, how
Okay.
old were you?
Oh man, at least I'll say I'll say between 7 and 10, somewhere in that age.
Okay, okay.
But I
Your
wasn't
butthole
necessarily
shape.
old enough to know better, but I was a fucking idiot,
Well,
and I wish I could just take it
if
back.
you were 10, if you were in the double digits, then your ass was old enough to know better.
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I don't mean
yeah.
to rub salt in the wound,
No,
but
that's totally legitimate. And again, I may have been, but like I said, man, all these years later, man, and I just really wish I could take that moment back, man. But it's she knows my heart.
So what you're telling us that you escaped the ass whooping. So you didn't catch the music that night.
You know what? I did not. I did not get an ass whooping. Um,
Oh, you just got
sim-
amnesia because you got beat
Simply
so bad.
because I don't remember it. It's either that or she hit me so hard she knocked my punk ass out. But my mother did not spare the rod. No, I take that back. My mother didn't spare the belt. Um,
Oh,
it,
okay.
and I can to this day I can tell you that belt, man. It was a leather belt and it had a bronze eagle head on it. It was my father's old belt. So she used to spank me with the leather part, right? But I got smart one day, And so I got some comic books and I stuffed them in my pants because I skipped school or something stupid, or whatever. So she came home. She was like, assume the position. She started beating me with the belt, and my dumb ass, I turned around, ha ha, I'm a man now. Oh, you're a man. She turned that belt around and wore me out with that bronze eagle. I'll never forget that, man. So yeah, my mother didn't spare the rod, man. So if she had known, or if she was really upset, she would have said something to me,
Okay. All right. Good looking, Chuck. Appreciate that. All right. Wow, Wayne, what's the
Yeah.
deal? The good, the holidays, the good, the bad, and the ugly. What you got for us?
Yeah. So, so everyone, like everyone else, holidays are really important, right? It's a good time to, as a kid, it's a good time to get stuff, right? But as an adult, it's spend some time with friends, family, all that good stuff, and get some good food. I think when you think about the good times, I think Chuck said it when he mentioned that when you're making sure that your kids are happy, right, and you're trying to give them some things that they want, possibly some things that they need, and that they can kind of appreciate, they still believe in what they believe in, the whole Christmas thing. I was never one that was a big proponent of the Santa Claus coming down the chimney and all that stuff. I was spending too much money on this stuff to let them think that this dude was doing something. So I never like really said there's no Santa Claus, but I made it clear that there's a name from who it was from underneath the tree, and his name never made it there. So anyway, but yeah, the whole but the whole
I get it, brother. I get
with
it.
the
Go
whole
ahead.
season, it's cool because I kind of like, I really do like the four seasons, and winter's not not a terrible time. I know you guys just caught some snow up there up north, and that's good. Like when you're a kid, that's fun to play in. It kind of makes it feel more Christmassy, if you will, and all that other stuff. So that's real good. But it's just a real enjoyable time to take a little break and kind of focus on things. But Chuck also said, a lot of people leave the spiritual aspect out of it, and it
Right.
is very, very commercial. But it's a fun time, and I think a lot of joy comes from seeing, I guess, the really young and even the really old be happy, right? That they're happy. Like the older people are happy because families together. The younger kids are happy because they opening gifts and stuff like that. And so this year it's just different. It's just different because everywhere you turn, everyone's telling you don't travel, don't do this, don't do that. You can't have gatherings of more than 10 people and all these different things. And that stuff is real, right? It's real, but it's different. And so it just changes. It just changes a lot of things. So that's so the bad for me would be there's just a lot of restrictions. And with these restrictions, it's hard to do what you're used to doing.
Hey Wayne,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about a memory. One year I got a bike for Christmas, and you talked about snow and being up here. It didn't snow, but it was extremely cold. So, and I think I was maybe 8 years old, maybe 9. Got that bike. I'm like, I gotta ride this bike. I gotta ride this bike. So I decided to ride the bike in the basement. My mother warned me, don't ride the bike. Get off the bike. You got a kid that just got a bike for Christmas. I
Yes.
can't ride my bike, So I waited. I be waiting, and she got on the phone with my grandmother. And I decided to get on the bike anyway and ride the bike around because I just want to test it out, change gears and all that good stuff. My mother said, "Hold on, mom. Matter of fact, mom, I'll call you back." Lord, did I get a whooping? Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God. You
Yeah.
caught it on
Merry
Christmas Day?
Christmas. Merry
Damn.
Christmas.
It was right after. I'm like,
Nothing
oh
like a
my
Christmas whipping.
Jesus.
And you
Yeah.
got a Christmas ass one.
But I rode that bike.
But you couldn't sit on that seat the next day.
No, I
That's
could.
right.
Hey, Steph.
Yo.
After you got a beat and she went upstairs, you still touched it with your finger, didn't you? Like, you touched it with your finger to make sure, like, yeah, you thought you won, but I still touched it.
He slept
So I
next
get
to
it.
it. He
Yeah,
slept
yeah,
next to
there
it.
you go. He rolled out the sleeping bag and got on it. I get it. Yeah. No, thank you, Steph. No, that's real. That's real. When you get something you really want, you go to the ends of the earth for that stuff, and you definitely will get jammed up. The holidays, the good, the bad, and the ugly. For me, I think the good is to see people see family. But sometimes you dread it when you go over to certain family's house and you know that oil and water, oil is already there at the table and water is about to come.
Uh-oh.
So you want to get your seat, you get your tickets, and get your popcorn because you already know what time it is. You know, Auntie and Uncle Jay and Auntie A, they about to go at it. So get your tickets ready. You know what I mean? So I think that's some of the good because it's funny, but it's bad because you know some of that stuff lingers on sometimes or whatever. But you know, I think that the actual the ugly part now is like Wayne and a couple of you guys said, traveling, feel restricted. Like you can't do anything. You know, I'm used to traveling during the holidays, going away, going up to the city, and now we can't do that. And we're at home. And don't get me wrong, I like being at home. I think it's something different. And this is might be starting a new tradition depending on how this thing goes, whatever. But I think that you know, a lot of things have changed with the kids. Like I said, I got a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old, and thanks to the yellow school bus that picks them up, that damn kid in the back of the bus done ruins Christmas because he done told my daughter that there ain't no Santa and there ain't no elf on the shelf. But yeah, you know them, you know that dude in the back of the bus that always
There's
Yeah.
trying to,
always one. Always got to be
yeah.
one.
He want to destroy everybody's dream. Yeah,
The
well, the
the
dream
Waynes of
catcher.
the world.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so now
There ain't no damn
you know
Santa.
now my daughter's evolved into a present checker. So when Amazon drops something off, she's shaking. So, oh, that's for Mickey. Oh, that's for me. Or Daddy, this is yours. She just throws that back outside. So you know that's how she does. You know, Rosie does that part. But I think the good part is trying to keep tradition, no matter how confined we are, to keep the tradition of you know, of knowing what Christmas is for. And I hate to say it, I turned into my grandfather, and everybody laughs at me when they talk about the food, how the food. I said, well, you know, some people ain't eating food, and they're like, oh, dang, here we go again. Or when we talk about,
Right.
so you got some people. Hey, listen, you got some people out there
You're
that's
right.
not eating. They in the food line. They in the line for food. Oh boy, here we go. Even my wife is on the bed. Like, really, we got to hear this. I said, listen, it's real. I said,
Yeah.
I came from that space where there was one time where I think things got real bad. Where we had, I don't know if anybody ever had hydrated milk where you mix it with water.
Hmm. Powdered milk.
That's deep. And pancakes for dinner for a couple of days. So, because something wasn't right with the job situation. My mother had changed jobs, whatever. So
And
I've been there.
that's the white box with the black letters.
No,
Oh,
that's the
yes, sir.
carnation box. The red and white box is dry.
Cereal.
It looked like cornflakes, but it's milk.
So it just says
So she
cereal.
got the upscale. Upscale, okay.
Yeah, upscale. I don't know, but anyway, all I'm saying is that I know what it's like to be, you know, to live like that when you have that, and for the heat to be off, or for to be able to have to use the sink instead of taking a bath, you got to use the sink because you know the hot water consolidate the hot water because you can't use it all up. So when I talk about that, they have to understand that the season, Thanksgiving, and I know I'm not talking about the negative connotation of Thanksgiving. I'm talking about thankful for being together, being able to appreciate what you got, but also with Christmas. Like I said, I'm not overly religious. I know that you know we celebrate it for for Christ and everything else like that, but just to be able to be be in a space where you're safe. You got a roof over your head. You don't have to worry about where your next meal comes from. Don't get too comfortable with that,
Hmm.
and appreciate what you have. Appreciate your family, your friends, whatever, and say your prayers. My kids fell off with that, and I know I'm running my mouth. I'm gonna back up. I don't want to tell you, but this is what my dinner. That's why everybody leave the dinner table like I'm not done. I'm not done. You know, everybody grabbing, pouring water, washing dishes. I'm like, I wasn't done. I wasn't done. But anyway, but that's that. In regards to the holiday season, man, those are some of the things I get into: the good, the bad, and ugly. So, Charlie Rock, back to you. What say you about the good and the bad and ugly? Do you have a bad or ugly story?
Well, I can tell you what's sad to me, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but a lot of the music that we hear around Christmas time is absolutely depressing to me. I mean, listen to some of these titles, man. You know, what do the lonely do at Christmas? By the Emotions. Another Lonely Christmas by Prince. Cold December Nights, Boys to Men. Santa Claus Go Straight to the Ghetto. James Brown. And even Silent Night sounds sad to me sometimes. Is it just me? Am
In
I the
my
only
mind.
one
No,
on this
In my mind.
podcast?
Yeah.
no,
That's
the
funny.
Manhattans get you with that silent night. Is it the Manhattans, Steph?
No, Temptation.
That sing the silent. Who sing the silent? Was that the
Temptations.
OJs or the Temptation? The
Temptation.
Temptation. The temptation.
Yeah, I just think, man, we need to like get some more upbeat music around the holidays, man. I mean,
Yeah.
folks, many people are already going through stuff. You know what I mean? So my thing is,
Yeah.
let's get some uplift, into the situation, and let's just jazz up the music, man. Let's just get folks pumped up and energized around this thing. Like you said, there's a lot going on, but damn, I mean,
So,
some of this music, I be like wanting to cut my wrists or something, man. Listen.
so we
You
need
know
Busta.
what?
We
So we
got,
need
hey,
Busta
we gotta
Rhymes
have
to get.
Keith Sweat. We gotta
We
have
need.
Keith Sweat walk around with a president talking about "I want it." I want it. And
So
he
we
puffing
really
the
need
air.
to
Nah,
get.
I want it.
but real serious though, we talked about memories or thoughts, things that we thought about that were positive things for us, but everybody don't got that story, right? So they also say that when these holidays, it's a very joyous time for a lot of people, but for some people who grew up however they grew up or without whatever they were without, it could be the worst time of the year for them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It makes them remember these things.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
and add COVID on top of that.
Yeah. So when you
know?
when you say the ugly or the bad, I mean those are the
Yeah.
things. If I mean, look, as many people that are doing well out here, there's a bunch of people struggling.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Right? And there's people who don't know where they're gonna, like you said, where your roof is gonna be, what food you're gonna have, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a tough time. And I think if you really think about it, if you're in like one of the big cities where they're like really balling out and you see all the bells and whistles and everything, it shows you more what you ain't got.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you're like, damn, I'm really hurting over here. So I mean, I think what's a good thing to do. A lot of people do it. A lot of different organizations do it around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Is do a little bit of volunteer work, right? Like at the
Yep,
soup kitchens, coat drives and stuff
Yep.
like that. Just because
Give
it
back.
gives you the perspective, it gives you the perspective that how hard would it be for you to be in that spot?
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt.
Not that
no
hard.
doubt. Yep.
Yep.
So I mean, when you talk about the bad or the ugly, I think that's what I would think of.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. There's a lot of people out there that lost their jobs and lost a loved one in 2020 due to this disease that's out there. And I think that's why it's important. And like I said, I don't want to get up on a high horse, but I do try to get these kids to say their prayers. I say my prayers at night, and I say I do say a prayer for the sick, the shut in, the homeless, but also I added the jobless to it. Those who don't have a job, and it helps out. For me,
Mhm.
it just helps out because I know there's somebody out there struggling because I've been through the struggle. I seen my mother go through the struggle. So, and I think that's important that we bring that back with the kids. Say your prayers at night. Some kids think, oh, had to do that when I was small. No, you should do that as much as possible because no matter what, don't wait till that time when you start calling them in. Then when you really need them, you start calling them. Oh my God, or whatever, and then you know what I'm saying, and then you got an issue. Don't wait till you have an issue.
Yeah, I agree. It's a balance, really, because you want them to have a healthy respect for what the meaning of the holiday is all about.
Yeah.
At the same time, you want them to enjoy it as a kid, just like we did as kids. There
Right.
there were memories that were created. My kids still get excited about driving around and looking at the Christmas lights and things of that nature. So
Right.
those are things that are
Appreciate that.
traditions. Yeah, traditions that I try to keep going as much and as long as humanly possible because it's all about creating memories for them. Things that that was something that I did with my parents when I was younger, and I loved it. And I like the fact that I'm passing on that tradition to my children, and I'm sure they're going to do it for their children as well. So, it's a balance. We want kids to be kids, but at the same time, like you said, we want them to, be prayed up, have a clear-eyed view of the world around them, understanding that, to even receive gifts on Christmas is a blessing that not everyone gets to participate in.
Hey, Ashanti Rose said that Uncle Luke has a Christmas album.
Uncle Luke.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's true. Fact.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
I'm gonna have to
What's the
check
name of
that
it?
out.
Don't stop, get it.
yeah, I think so.
Hey, so y'all know I'm on TikTok. So I'm an old guy, I guess. I'm scrolling stuff. So of course, they got Christmas songs and Mariah Carey pops up and all that. So this young lady's got a new one. It's called "Pop That Booty" for Saint Nick.
Oh my God.
So of course, so yeah, pop that booty for sake dick. So
Hilarious.
and look, man. So the funny thing is on TikTok, you can stitch and duet videos and stuff like that. So she did her original video, which is a minute long, but now other people are doing what's called stitched and duets with it. So now they're coming up with the lyrics to it and all that. So it's become this whole big raunchy thing, For it's funny. It is, but and we're just talking about Christmas songs and stuff. But there's a lot of Charles said sad songs, but there's a lot of colorful Christmas songs going around now also.
Okay. All right. Well, I get it. I get it. And let me ask you a question. Now, I know for those of you that do go, how's this Zoom thing working for everybody? I mean, I know we're reaching out to family and stuff. We can't spend time with them, but being on the Zoom, they talk about there's such a thing now as Zoom fatigue. Being on Zoom so much and not being able to be with that person. How do y'all feel about that? Let's start off with Wayne. Wayne, how do you feel about this Zoom thing as far as dealing with family and stuff?
Wow. So when it comes to family, I think the Zoom is a good thing, right? I think yeah, I've connected with people on both sides of my family that I didn't really know. They were cousins or second cousins or third cousins or whatever, but you get on the Zoom, you get to see all these people and you get to kind of interact, people that you might not have necessarily seen during the year anyway, but because you have this way to do it, it happens. Now, I think when you talk about the fatigue, I think the fatigue comes from everything being online, right? So if you work 5 days a week and you're having Zoom meetings all day, and then on the weekend you meet with your family, it's not, that's just, I think you just get tired of it. But again, it's all about when you're doing it for work, it's just like a repetitive thing, and it's because you
Right.
can't really be in the same space as people. But when you're doing for your family, you might even be meeting new family members that you don't know. So I don't know. From a family perspective, I can't see how you could really get tired of it. Really, it's just like being around your family for real, right? If you know whose house you don't want to go over, you don't go there, right? So you don't go. So same thing. You just don't get
Or
on that
at
call.
least
You're
you don't
like,
stay too long.
right, right.
Hey, what you say, Wayne? I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Hey, bro, you ain't gonna make it.
Exactly.
What do you think, Chuck? What do you think about the Zoom? Do you use it a lot at home, or the kids use it, or do you see it's overly used or not used enough in regards to reaching out to people?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? I'm not a Zoom guy. The only time I really get on here is, well, first of all, I'm an introvert. So y'all know I don't do a lot of emails and stuff. I'm just an introvert. It's not that I don't like people. It's just I don't the only time I really talk and communicate and stuff is like, I'm just an introvert. I don't know how to really
Right.
explain it.
Right.
So I don't really do the
Okay.
Zoom thing and all that. But when I do and when I have and like when I communicate with you guys, hey, if this is what we have because of COVID or whatever, I'm good with it. Nothing beats that, face-to-face interpersonal connection and communication. But Zoom is an effective way to communicate, and I would much rather have this than nothing at all, or just text
Right.
message, whatever. Um, so often we text back and forth, but a lot of stuff gets lost in communication because it's
Right.
So to be able to see somebody's face and for them to be able to hear the words coming out of my mouth so that they clearly
Right.
understand the context of what I was saying, yeah, Zoom is cool.
Okay. I know. Hey, Steph. Thank you, Chuck. Steph, what about you? Because you got the girls over across the water. How's Zoom affecting you in regards to work and talking with the girls and stuff like that?
Well, I tell you, I don't use Zoom that often. Matter of fact, the only time I'm really on Zoom is through this podcast. But what I do with the girls is another app called WhatsApp. And
Oh, yeah.
basically, matter of fact, I talked to both of them today, one video and one audio. One doesn't like to do video that often because, the hair is not the way she wants it to be. But the other one embraces it. What my family did this year, I am fortunate. The majority of my side of the family lives right here in the DC area, so I'm able to see them periodically, even if it's just with a mask for about 10 minutes. But what we did this Thanksgiving, we actually did a Zoom Thanksgiving call. and everybody prepared their food. And at 3 o'clock, we went hot and had dinner via Zoom. Now, granted, I missed it because part of my Thanksgiving dinner wasn't prepared in time, not here at the house. We picked it up somewhere else. But, it was a great way to connect. So we're planning on doing it again this Christmas. And
Okay.
do a quick 1 hour Zoom, eat, wish each other Merry Christmas, and call it an evening.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Hey, you
Charlie
know what?
Rock.
Oh.
Oh, you go ahead, Chuck.
No, I was just gonna say something real quick. I just thought about this. I had a conversation with my cousin the other day, actually about 2 days ago, and it started off text message, and then he called me because it just became too much. And we ended the conversation by saying, because we have some more catching up to do. There's a lot of stuff that he was, family stuff, and he was like, "Hey man, did you hear?" That kind of stuff. And so he said, "Hey, I'm gonna follow up." I said, "Hey," and so he said, "Hey man, you mind if I Zoom you?" I forgot about this. And I was like, you know what? I didn't think about that. So I said that to say this. We're supposed to be talking, I think tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So I'll let you guys know how it works out for me. Like it's like I said,
But
it really shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, I
you're
talked to you
professional.
guys.
Well, you're
Mhm.
professional now. Yeah.
Huh?
I'm saying just
Yeah,
like you're doing now. You're professional. You
yeah,
good.
but yeah, man, I just this is safe for me. Y'all all
Oh, okay.
right, but I know there's gonna be a wild card. Is my,
Hey,
my 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 cousin's just as crazy as I am, so I know he's gonna throw a wild card in there. A long lost relative may pop up in the mix or something.
Hey, Ashanti Rose said the only thing hard with Zoom is dating.
Mm.
ooh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
We might have to do a podcast on that one.
yeah, yeah.
No doubt.
Swipe to the left.
Yeah.
Swipe to the right. Crisscross.
Hey,
Hey, hey,
that's speed date nowadays, isn't it?
hey,
I'm
Hilarious.
man.
assuming
Mhm.
you just
Hey,
Mhm.
I
swipe to the
want to
left,
know
swipe
what
to the
would
right.
happen if you did put two fingers on Tinder and went both ways. What happened?
Oh Lord,
Wow.
why?
Charlie Rock. Charlie
I,
Rock, what say you, brother,
I
about this
think
Zoom thing with the kids and the family? What say you?
I think the technology is great, man. It's the next best thing to actually being there. I mean, I enjoy it through the podcast. I mean, you up in Connecticut, I get to see my boy. I get to look him in the eyes and, see how he's doing, how he's feeling, things of that nature. I think those things are important. I
Yeah.
actually had the opportunity to attend my aunt's funeral via Zoom, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah, and
Wow.
and and let me tell you, although it was a sad occasion, it's always a good thing when you are in fellowship with your family in any way, shape, or form,
Right.
right?
That's
So
right.
obviously, I would have preferred to have been there and get the hugs and the kisses and all that sort of thing. But the fact that I was able to attend this funeral via Zoom
Mhm.
and be
Say
engaged
goodbyes.
and see my family and things of that nature, man, that was priceless to me.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
Yeah.
otherwise I would not have had any of those experiences. Maybe someone would have shot a little video from a phone or sent over a couple of pictures or things of that nature, but it actually felt like I was there going through that process. So, bruh, I'm all for it, man. I think it's a wonderful thing. Obviously, it doesn't beat the in-person
Right.
fellowship, but it's the next best thing in my opinion.
Okay. I asked that because for me, being a dinosaur from the background where I came from to what I'm doing now, I'm doing it every day. And they talk about Zoom fatigue. For me, the fatigue part is not being able to touch nobody, and that goes for for family, male, female, whatever. That handshake. People don't shake hands no more. They do the fist bump. They do it. It don't that elbow thing. That don't mean nothing for me. It's usually when you shake hands or you do the soul brother hug. When you're like, yo, what's up with them? That's what I miss. You know what I mean? Because I think people are losing connection with Zoom. And
Hmm.
the same thing like a young lady mentioned about dating. I mean, it's good that you can see the person and talk to them, and you get a relatively good idea of if they're for you or if they're not for you. Which I think sometimes helps out a little bit, because that negates some things. But for me, the fatigue is not being able to hug on the people. I'm a hugger, so I
Hmm.
can't hug on the people who I want to hug on. Or see. So I think that's an issue,
Hmm.
for me. And I that's my Zoom fatigue, not being able to do the same things we've been doing. Uh, for me to be an hour away 59 minutes to be exact, to jump on a plane and come down there and see y'all. Now I can't do it. It's like a big whole, you know, I had plans. I had plans to come. Trust me, I had the whole thing laid out. I was about to do the whole thing where I was gonna come down there and turn Maryland out. That didn't happen.
Mhm.
None of that happened. I was planning on coming down there. Look, Chuck, hey man, open up the garage. I brought my sleeping bag. I would have been ready. You know what I mean? But I couldn't do any of that. So that's somewhat.
Yeah,
of
I got a dresser drawer ready for you.
Well, thank you. Listen, is that
Sleep.
right?
I got a dresser drawer ready for you to sleep in.
Is that right next to lip balm? But anyway, moving on.
Hey, but Mike, real quick,
Yeah.
Renee Harris, our girl Renee said, I agree, Mike. I'm a hugger, so I miss the hugs. And then Ashanti wrote, that is true. I'm a stepper, and we're always hugging and cheek kissing. I miss that.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss it. Forehead kissing.
That's
And you know, and
big.
Chuck,
That's
don't you say
big.
nothing, Chuck, about the forehead kissing.
Mhm.
But anyway, you know, I'm a hugger, especially with me. You know, it all depends on the different individuals and everything. But you know, I miss it, and I think that's one of the things, no issues that I have. Let's see who we had. So we hit Charles up, Wayne, whatever, myself. All right, now let me ask you. We all been shimmying around the deal. There's always that one person. Now you ain't got to say their name. We can just raise hand. Who's that?
Mike.
Does anybody have that one person? That one person that comes to Christmas dinner that gets on your damn nerve.
Ah,
You give them your hug. They get on your nerves so bad. Your hug is like 3 seconds high, and you keep it moving. And you slide that hug.
3-second hug.
You know what I mean?
The drive-by hug.
I would say, I would say not.
Hey, Charles,
Yo.
what say you about that? Hey, don't forget, your mom might be listening, so be careful.
I would say not for me personally, but we've really had no real drama at the table. But my sister's ex-boyfriend still likes to pop in on my mother from time to time. For whatever reason.
I didn't know that.
He likes to do these drive-bys, right?
Okay.
Now my sister is
Does
married.
he know it's over?
He knows it's over, or at least he should. He should have the hint by now.
Does he know that your mom moved?
Yeah, he knows all that. He knows all that. But of course, and he knows my sister is now married to somebody else. So we're all sitting around the table. Everybody is there who is supposed to be there. All of a sudden, the doorbell rings.
No, sir.
Dude is in the house, shaking hands, kissing babies, and my sister and her husband are sitting there with their mouths like wide open. And me and my brother, we sit next to each other. We're like, how should we handle this? Because
Right.
obviously, we didn't want our sister to have to deal with this dude. And it would be impolite to have our brother-in-law deal with it. So I thought it would be best for one of us to step to him and basically escort him out the door. So we've had situations such as that. But outside of that,
you're not gonna glance over that. Who escorted him out? You or Kevin or both?
Come on, man. Hell no!
I want to know.
Well, Kevin said, Charles, you're wrong for that.
He's on.
He's on. He's on.
Hey,
let's just put it this way. There was a quick exit.
Okay.
He said his hellos, and it was time to go.
So you was able to grab the door, Charles? You grabbed the door?
Hey man, it was time to go, man. He had to hit the curb, bro. I mean, it's just some things you just don't do, man. I mean, you don't want to create uncomfortable situations during the holidays, And he knew he was dead wrong for walking in that door. He knew.
Well, I'm glad you said that about uncomfortable situations. When I go through the roll call, I got to tell y'all something. So Steph, now you may say something, you may not have to say something depending on who's listening. But is that one person that you ain't got to say no name, but I'm saying is that one person that
Yeah, back in the day, there was an aunt that challenged me because she always had a slick comment, but she was a great aunt. So not only did she challenge me, but she challenged my mother, and my mother had to behave herself before she cussed her out. And then my mother really don't cuss. But I lived for that one uncle that would get drunk. After playing bid whist, everybody been drinking beers or something even heavier. Well, one year on his way out the door, He said, "All right, everybody, Happy Christmas and Merry New Year." Man, we fell out laughing. We still talk about that to this day, to include his own daughter. And it's just one of those things. So I always look forward to him because I knew I was going to get a good one once he was done.
Okay. All right. Hey, Chuck.
Yes,
What
sir.
about your drive-by hug? Who'd you have to give a drive-by hug? You don't have to say the name, but did you have to give somebody a drive-by hug during the holidays?
Yeah. I can't say. It's
Don't
and
Come
tell me
on,
names.
come on, man. This is
listen to me.
transparency, brother.
Listen. If I could say it, I'd say it.
So you can't give us the story without giving the name.
Let's just say that this
Come on, Chuck.
individual. I can't even say if it's a friend or a family member. Is that close?
Listen,
But I
if
can
you
say
tell
this.
us, and listen, Chuck, if you tell us, I'll throw in 3 extra chapsticks.
Wait,
Come on, Chuck.
wait.
Come on, tell us. Come on.
I fucking hate you. God, I hate
Come
you.
on, man.
I can't. I'm telling you, I can't. I won't survive this one. But
Listen,
but look,
listen, no pressure, brother.
but
No
because
pressure.
but because of this individual, I've had to put rules in place. I've had to put limitations in place in terms of how much time certain individuals can spend in my home. Um, but there.
Okay. All right. Listen.
You
Listen. The
scared?
lip
You
quiver
scared?
did it
Move
for
on.
me.
I
You
am.
No, we're
scared.
gonna move on.
You know what? I am. I'm scared, but not for being jacked up or nothing. I
Right,
mean,
right.
it's hey man. But look,
All right.
yeah,
All right, brother.
Yeah.
I get you. Listen,
Yeah.
we don't put no pressure on fam. All right.
yeah.
Wait.
And y'all know. But wait, having said this, y'all know my heart is. Come on. So if I'm telling you that I got somebody in my life that I got restrictions on, they've done some shit.
Okay. All right. I respect that. Wayne, what say you about that, man? Is there people at the Christmas dinner that you might have to do a drive-by hug?
Nah, really, I don't have a situation like that. I mean, I think, like I said before, those people, in your close circle, your immediate family, yeah, your close aunties, uncles, and all of that stuff. You kind of everything was good like that. I mean, yeah, you get some drinking and get to some of that foolishness, but it was nothing too crazy. Any of the crazy things was I just avoid it. So I really honestly don't have a story about nothing like that. That was never an issue for me.
So Carson Wentz can never show up to your house, then, right?
You foul. That's foul.
Damn.
I just want to make sure.
Eagle joke.
Really? We're going to the Eagles? Really?
Yes. This
Bastard.
week's Eagles.
So anyway,
Oh, shit.
go ahead, Mike.
Well, listen, fella. Let me drink the water on this one because this.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and that was water. I hope it was. I wish it was tequila, but it's water. I just want to send a shout out. Send a shout out to Uncle Eddie, one of my favorite uncles. I got a few, but Uncle Eddie was, how can I say, truck driver, little short, tough dude. Okay, but he would put Dr. Ruth to shame. And for some reason, whenever we got together, he always wanted to put the sexual stuff on the table in front of my mother, grandmother, everybody. You know how everybody eating? He waits till I sit down and he be like, yeah. So everybody all quiet. And then he like, so Mike. I'm like, yes, Uncle Eddie. How the ladies treating you? I'm like, everything's good. He said, no, how they treating you. What you know? I said, what you mean? Well, they good. Everything's good. He says, yeah. So you in the 90 J's? I said, what? He said, are you in the 90 J's? I said, Uncle Eddie, that's a negligee. Well, you know what I mean. 90 J's. Well, you buying the ladies 90 J's? And my mother look at me. You know how everybody, their spoon stop in their mouth like, and this answer, everybody looking at me like this answer better be right. If you say the wrong, I said, I don't know what you talking about, Eddie. Oh, man, you know what I'm talking about. You know about the Vicky draws. I said, what? What is the Vicky draw? I never heard nothing like that before, Uncle Eddie. Yo, every holiday, I'm talking about Thanksgiving, Christmas, he would catch me in the kitchen, in the pot, sitting down, in the living room. He always waited till there was a lull to ask me, so Mike, yeah, how's it hanging, brother? I said, what? what the hell you talking about, Grady? How do you know? And then he want to go into this whole Dr. Ruth thing. So I don't know if anybody else had an uncle like that, but that was my fun. But that was also my immediate torture. Where I had to run. Whenever he came, I had to shoot upstairs because he came after me. Because he always wanted to put me on blast, but it was all love. But anyway, it wasn't a more of a derogatory thing. But my uncle definitely put me on blast, man. He was a mess. He was a
90
mess.
J's, huh?
90 J. I said no, it's
Yeah.
negligent. You know what I mean, man? He quick. He straightened me up quick on that one.
But and
Yeah,
that,
fellas, real quick, we right at 45 minutes. Just a quick time check.
All right,
okay.
all right. We have 45 minutes. Well, we're gonna wrap this thing up. R.I.P. to Uncle Eddie. Thank you for putting me in my space. Making me the way I am now today. I appreciate it. But anyway, listen, fellas, I appreciate the input. I know that this is kind of a tough year for everybody, family wise. Coming together with people, losing jobs. Trying to hold the family dynamic together. And we try to make light of different situations, but it's also a serious situation. So I don't want a lot of people out there to think, not only we are talking about, different situations that happen at Christmas, but we also know there's situations where, people do lose loved ones, and we don't want to make, we don't want anybody to think we're making any light of that. We just wanted to put it out there about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and unfortunately, that are some of the things that we're dealing with COVID. But other than that, I just want to say thank you. We'll wrap it up in last minute words. So Wayne, we'll start off with you. What's one last thing you want to add to the topic?
Hey, I just want to say to everyone who's listening, I think we had a little bit of feedback today, so that's a good thing. We're growing a little bit here, but I just want to thank everybody who's been listening to us, and also wish everyone a very, very happy holiday season, and make the best of it. Make the best of a challenging situation.
I swear, Wayne, I thought you were going to say Happy Christmas, Merry New Year.
I was about to,
Chuck,
but yeah, everybody do your thing.
All right, appreciate you, brother. Chuck Nice, last minute words on the way out.
Yes,
A
sir.
drive-by saying.
Excuse me. Merry Christmas to everyone, and don't let COVID stop you from having a Merry Christmas. Keep making memories. Make this as memorable as you can make it. You never know, unfortunately, not to be a downer, but make it a memorable
Okay.
Christmas. Merry
I
Christmas.
appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Yes,
All right, Steph Lover.
Well, first of all, I'd like to echo what Wayne said. Just shout out to Laura Justice, Ashanti Rowe, Kevin Castile, as well as our girl Renee for joining us today. We appreciate the feedback and the comments that are in Facebook Live. I've been monitoring it. Definitely appreciate the comments. Renee asked the next time we do it, we need a mic drop. So, we weren't prepared today, but
Special requests like that.
All right.
Special request.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
We'll
We're
have a
gonna bring
mic
that
drop.
back.
stuff.
We're gonna bring the mic back by popular demand. We got you.
Yeah, so-
I.e. spa indulgence. We got you.
Yes, yeah, good. Great
I.e.
shout
spa
out.
indulgences.
Yes.
I got, yeah,
There
you go with
you
the
go.
plug, Mike. I got you.
Yes.
Okay, no doubt.
But anyway,
Charlie Rock.
everybody,
I'm sorry, Steph.
no problem. Everyone have a happy holiday season. Thanks for the birthday shout outs earlier, guys. And I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Steph. Appreciate you. Charlie Rock.
Yep.
On the way out.
Yeah.
What
Once
you
again,
got for
happy
us? One last minute
birthday.
word.
Yeah. Once again, happy birthday to Steph. Happy holidays to everybody. 2020 was a tough year. Let's go to that next level in 2021. So that's all I
There
have
you
to
go.
say. Let's take this thing out the right way, and keep in mind, the reason for this season is Jesus. So let's just focus on that, and everything else will be okay. It'll
So
work
you're
itself
gonna stop cheating in golf, Charles? Is that what you're saying?
out. If I had to cheat to beat you, that would be a problem. That would be a problem.
Oh man.
Hey, look. So last thing, Charles, stop wishing Stefan a happy birthday, man. You're gonna swell his head up. All right. let's just move on.
You know what? I ain't messing with y'all. Listen, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Listen, for everybody that was listening in, that tuned in, we want to say thank you, appreciate you. We're gonna keep trying to do our best and keep going. So thank you. If you tune in to us, you can listen to us on Amazon Podcasts, holla at Alexa, Spotify, Spreaker.com, YouTube, Facebook, IG. What else we got? We got Google Podcast, and most of all, we got the J Band Pod, where we got a little tight T-shirt up there where you can turn it into a nighty J if you want to. That's up to you. You know? So somebody show up to the crib. Somebody show up to the crib, have that shirt, just be a man shirt on, and let them know. I hope you brought some Gatorade.
That's right.
All right. Well, listen. Thank you for tuning in.
Lips.
Hey, we love y'all. Deuces.
Asshole.
We clear?
Nope.
You just
not
had to
yet.
get that in the